Every week we do something called a community moment. It's an opportunity for us to hear from one of you. And this week we have a veteran community moment speaker, Kate Laws. I like to introduce our community moment speakers because I want you to get to know them a little bit better. Kate serves as the assistant brewer at Martin City Brewing Company. I asked for 3 words to describe herself. She said, warm, devoted, and brave. All very true. Her hobbies are reading, writing, and cooking. And if she had a warning label, it would be defying the patriarchy daily. Let's give a really great warm welcome to Kate Laws.
Hi. Wow. Good morning. I'm so happy to be here at Oasis celebrating 2 years with all of you today. This community means so much to me. And watching it grow over the last 2 years has been just completely amazing. And when I look out and I see all of you and I can tell that it fills you all with as much joy as it does me, and that makes me really happy. So I've been here nearly every week since close to the beginning, and I get to meet a lot of people. And whenever you meet someone new, one of the first questions you tend to ask each other is, what do you do? And when I tell people that I'm a brewer, they tend to perk up. As jobs go, mine sounds kind of like I found a way to beat the system. I would expect the same reactions I get from people if I told them that I was a comfy mattress inspector or a feet plate tester. Brewing sounds pretty cool. So this is a new career for me, and I get a lot of questions about it. So today I thought that I would give you all a brief glimpse into my adventures in brewing at a small but growing modern American craft brewery. I finished brewing school last June, and then I interned at Boulevard for 3 months, and then got hired on as an assistant brewer at Martin City in late August. I'm going to start with a ridiculously brief overview of what it takes to make a beer from start to finish. Our batches start with around 1,000 pounds of grain. Our batches start with around 1,000 pounds of grain and 700 gallons of water. First, we mill the grain to crack it open, dumping 1 50-pound bag in at a time. Then it soaks in the mash tun for about an hour in warm water, and that draws out the starches in order to convert them to a form that the yeast can metabolize. Then we separate the liquid from the grain and boil it for an hour and a half with hops. At the end of the boil, we use hoses and pumps that have been carefully sanitized to move the liquid through a heat exchanger to rapidly cool it to a temperature that is friendly to yeast. And at this point, the liquid is not called beer. Up to this point, it's called wort. Brewers, in fact, do not make beer. Brewers make sugar water. Yeast makes beer. The wort then goes into a tank called a fermenter. That's that guy. That has also been sanitized, where we add the yeast and let the magic happen. But actually, there is no magic. I'm sure that's not news to any of you lovely skeptics. It's all science. And I would be happy to talk your ear off about all of the chemical reactions, microbiology, fluid dynamics, biochemistry, physics, etc. that go into it all, but unfortunately that is another talk. The beer will sit there fermenting for anywhere from a week to a couple of months, depending on the type of beer and the voracity of the yeast. If the beer is very, very lucky, we will put it into one of our over 200 barrels to age anywhere from 3 months to 3 years. This is a picture of the beer going into a barrel, and that is a picture of the beer coming back out. The beer then has to be carbonated and either hooked up for serving in our tap room or kegged, bottled, or canned for distribution. So that's the sludge that's left at the bottom of the tank after we remove the beer. There's like 40 gallons of that stuff that we have to deal with. So what's my contribution to this process? It's going by itself. Mostly cleaning. There is so much cleaning. I mean, I do every step of the process that I just described, but before, during, and after every single step, there is some rather involved cleaning to be done to keep the environment aseptic and the beer uncontaminated. Here is a picture of me. Oh, why is it doing that? Okay, here's a picture of me in some stylish bright yellow rubber overalls about to scrub the floors at Boulevard with a harsh chemical. Here's a picture of the plates of the filter at Martin City positively caked with yeast after a difficult filtration, and a shot from the same day showing what a shambles the rest of the brewery was in. It was already one of the longest, messiest, most difficult days that I've had there yet, and then I had all that to clean up. Here is a picture of dirty kegs stacked as far as the eye can see. Those all needed to be cleaned in one day, and my back hurt really bad after that one. Here is a picture of a serving tank, all hooked up to hoses and pumps, ready for CIP, which means cleaning in place. That is a process that takes 1 to 2 hours and cycles of 3 different chemicals to get it all spick and span and sanitized and ready for beer. Here is a picture of my boss sitting on top of 4 pallets of kegs, and he was scrubbing with stainless steel polish to keep the tanks all bright and shiny. All right, here's a picture of the mash tun being raked out. And let me tell you that that 1,000 pounds of grain that we start with weighs a whole lot more after it's been soaked in water. We have to rake it out by hand and fill up barrels and push them out. Here is a picture that I took while I was waiting for foam to stop pouring out of the yeast propagation tank at Boulevard so that I could clean it. That went on for like 20 minutes, just foam pouring out. Here is a picture of my coworker at Martin City in front of a giant mess of hop and yeast sludge that made its way out of a tank we had just finished filtering out of when he mistakenly removed a valve at the wrong time. There are a lot of messes. Here's a picture of me sweating because I had just moved an ungodly amount of grain around. Here is a picture of me sweating because I had just finished moving 400 pounds of hops up to the roof where I dumped them in a tank at Boulevard that holds 18,600 gallons of beer. Here's a picture of me sweating and looking nervous because I'm about to drive the forklift for the first time after I had just loaded up 2 pallets full of 40-pound boxes of hops, and I was about to load them onto the truck to drive them back to Boulevard. Here is a picture of me sweating and wearing a respirator because I was vacuuming out the mill room, and you do not want to breathe that dust in. Here's another picture of me sweating. I have no idea what I've been doing this time. There's a lot of sweating. So the Martin City Brewing Company has been for 2 years now, and we're growing rapidly, but we're still small. So some days I go in and it isn't brewing related stuff that we're doing at all. For instance, a few weeks ago we needed new trench drains. So I found myself pouring concrete one day and then grinding, finishing, and sealing it the next day, plus cleaning up all the damn dust. I really have to be ready for anything around there. Brewing is challenging both physically and mentally. It is hot, heavy, dirty, dangerous work. But at the end of the day, I absolutely love my job. The people I work with are creative, fun, interesting, talented, community-oriented people. The product that I am helping to produce is high quality. American craft brewers are making the best beer in the world right now. It's both traditional and innovative, and truly brewed by passionate people. With over 2,000 and counting craft breweries in America, I obviously can't speak for all of them. But overall, this industry takes really great pride in the small, local, artisan approach to brewing that we had gotten so very far away from in this country post-Prohibition. The craft beer boom started over 25 years ago, and it's still growing. Every year for decades, more new breweries open than opened the year before, and craft beer represents a larger share of the beer that people are bringing home. And being a part of that just really thrills me. The product that we are making is being produced down the street by people in your neighborhoods and communities, and it's a labor of love every single time. If you're interested in checking out Martin City, we are located a couple of blocks east of Warrenall on 135th Street in South Kansas City, And the Martin City Pizza and Tap Room has 12 to 14 of our beers on tap at any given time, and we also have bottles for sale there as well, not to mention some of the best pizza in Kansas City. We can also be found in a few liquor stores and many bars and restaurants around town, and I'm very, very proud of what we're doing there. And I know that I have found the perfect career for me. Thank you for letting me share a little bit about one of my passions with you today.